My 5-year-old daughter Sophie was killed at Dunblane Primary School in 1996. Whenever I hear about school shootings in the US, I'm always horrified, but I'm no longer surprised or shocked. It just happens too frequently. At the time, it was possible to own handguns in Britain, and the person who murdered Sophie and her classmates and teacher owned 4 handguns legally. I felt, and thousands of other people felt, if handguns had not been so easily available, then Dunblane wouldn't have happened. First of all, the Conservative government and then the Labour government that took over from them passed 2 Acts of Parliament that led to the total ban on handguns. And since then, there's been a significant fall in the level of gun crime. Now, 20 to 25 people in Great Britain are murdered with a gun each year. That compares with, I believe, 13,000 or so in the United States of America. It wasn't just Sophie who died that day, it was her friends, many of whom I knew, some of whom I'd known ever since they were born. They were children of my own friends. This was a collective loss, and I think when mass shootings take place, particularly in an environment like a school, the effects are so widespread. Sandy Hook hits those of us in Dunblane particularly hard. The disappointing, disgraceful thing is that no changes were made. And I was aware of how many of the Sandy Hook parents were investing a lot of their time and emotion into trying to get changes to the legislation, and how exhausted they would be becoming. Families at Sandy Hook were facing formidable opposition. The gun lobby, of course, in the US is very strong, very well funded, and very intransigent. The majority of politicians there look at it solely from the point of view of the Second Amendment and not from the point of view of how many people are getting slaughtered in the US each year, or the feelings of victims, their families, their friends. I was also a single parent, and Sophie was my only child, so I just lost my family that day, and inevitably I was going to feel empty. But having said that, there was always something there still, some inner strength which I think we all have. It's the young people who are going to be speaking out against gun violence. If the US is concerned, and sometimes I wonder whether they are enough, they're going to have to change their politicians. So the young people should be making sure they vote, obviously, and making sure they vote for people whose views on guns concur with their own.